Like we've all kind of missed the mark. The great thing about because I game with the boys as well, so we got into PUBG as soon as it came out, pretty much.
Yeah, and we're pretty good.
Yeah.
We got those dubs.
Well, I think it's funny because I'm such a cynical minded guy. Whenever people are like, "Oh, I really like this," I'm like, "I don't want to like this." If people are talking about something a lot, and it's like,
is what you're saying.
No, it's not that. It's not that. I mean, I don't know. But anyways, I was over with one of my buddies. Speaking of, I didn't tell you, my freshman roommate is getting married, and I'm his best man.
Oh,
whoa!
Yeah. He just told me the other day. We were at Cece's, and he was just like, we had just gotten a shit ton of cheese pizza, and he was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Hey." It was right before we saw Infinity War, and he was like, "Do you want to be my best man?" And I was like,
"Yeah." So I knew that he was gonna propose. I didn't know that he did already.
Yeah.
But that's been. Here's the thing: is I have noticed, in the last couple years, everyone our age has either had a child or gotten engaged or married.
Yeah.
And that is the weirdest.
Or they're single as
fuck.
Yeah. There's no middle ground.
The reason that is we come from a very, very small town, and small town people, a good handful of them will branch out and go to college and lead successful lives and stuff. But the thing about leading a really successful life is you kind of have to put family and getting married and having kids and stuff on the back burner
for sure.
Yeah.
before you get there. I feel like that's pretty much a universal thing. So I think a bunch of people that are having kids and getting married and stuff, but you feel like you might be behind on that, but you're really not.
Yeah. I feel like college is a barrier to that. You go to college and your main focus is to get a degree. If you don't go to college, then hey, you're working all the time.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
I think too, people measure success differently.
Yeah.
But back to Fortnite.
I got a piece to say on that. So the reason I like PUBG so much is one, being able to aim down the sights.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is about with an AR. If I have iron sights with an AR, I can still outplay a dude that has an 8x scope or something. Okay.
Correct.
And also with Fortnite,
Parker's like, what the fuck is he saying?
I don't know. I've never played. What is it?
PUBG.
Oh
man, you're missing out.
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing is also building. We talked about how people are really good at building stuff. In PUBG, if you don't have cover when you engage somebody, you're screwed. They can just it's just like taking pot shots at you. But you gotta think about, where am I at? Where's my cover? Can I engage this? And you can't just pop up a wall in front of you or build this elaborate structure and be like, I'm gonna hide behind this, even though I'm in the middle of a field.
One thing that's always made me Fortnite's so weird because everything's destructible.
Yeah.
If you're hiding behind a tree, someone breaks out of that shit, you're fucked.
Well, I think that, as far as that goes, because again, we were hanging out and he was like, "Hey, you want to play Fortnite?" And like I said, I was like, whatever. And then he started playing and I was like, "Wait, this looks really fun." And he was like, "Well, you can play it on your phone." Yeah. And so I started playing it. And I think that that's the thing, though, where something and I love playing Grand Theft Auto 5 still. I like that the map, you can't do anything to it. You can shoot an RPG at a building and there's no damage.
Right.
And I think that that's the only thing that I like about Fortnite that's kind of fun to me. It's you can destroy anything.
Yeah.
You can destroy anything you want. So I don't know. But I'm also not a huge gamer.
Yeah.
And it seems like, you're talking about PUBG,
PUBG, baby.
PUBG, and I'm like, you're talking about playing on a PC, and I'm like, what is a PC? Political culture.
We're recording this on a Mac.
Yeah. We're just obviously you guys game more than me.
Yeah.
So
we want to talk about man.
So we're gonna let's jump right in because Austin said something, and I think this is the route that we're gonna go because all of us grew up in a very small town. And then pretty much moved away, aside from Garrett, because he kind of stayed home and
I have 3 kids.
is doing his thing and killing it. But let's just talk about growing up in a small town.
So I would like to argue that I grew up in the smallest town. I don't know about Parker's situation, but
yeah, definitely.
My community does not have a stoplight. You just drive straight through.
No,
and
there's pretty much one main road.
No, you just drive straight to it, and it's a speed trap because of that. Because there's only one road, and the only thing you're worried about is getting from like north to Huntsville.
Yeah,
like, that's the only reason you'd go through there. And so, also truckers try to avoid a truck stop. They stop at our 2 gas stations and grab a drink so that they can not go to the truck stop. But the thing is like, I went from a town that had literally everyone that knew anybody that had ever done anything to I've been up in Cookeville. I've been up in Cookeville studying engineering, and like there's people that move from like Nashville and Knoxville, and they're like, this is not a big town.
Yeah.
This is super small. But like the thing is while I was coming down here, I was just looking around, and it's
all
spring.
country.
Yeah, it's spring, and I was like looking, and I saw, wait, this grass is super tall. Like, it's been raining, the grass is growing. Wow, that's something I can see.
Nature.
Yeah, I know.
Nature is
like,
neat.
you can actually, there's not someone that comes and mows the grass on Fridays.
Right.
It just kind of happens. And so, that's been my thing, is like, that kind of comforted me. Just in the 30 minutes I was driving through there, that was something that hit me deep down that I had not seen in a while.
Yeah. It's interesting just because, like, you know, I can't speak for Parker, but I can speak for the rest of the boys and myself. Is like, you know, when we were in Pulaski, like, it's pretty much all about the last name that you have. You know, everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everything that everyone does. Nobody has their own, like, private business. And it's like, just interested to, like, hear what you guys have to say. Like, having grown up, like, how did you deal with that? You know, like, kind of, or at least what was your experience? Because I think that I've talked about it a little bit on the podcast, but not as much as we can now. But, like, what was that like? Like,
I mean, still living there, I just don't fuck with people that are, you know, not meant to fuck around.
Because at this point, you know, you've got your group settled. Like, you have your friends.
Yeah.
No new friends.
Yeah.
No new friends, you know what I'm saying?
Like, whoever that friend group lets in the group, like, fine, but they come and go, man.
Yeah.
Like, fine, not this one, but, like, the one there. But, I mean...
When you meet a new person, is it because they, like, have recently started going to the college? Like, it's not because they've always lived there and they just showed up out of nowhere. It's because they came from somewhere else.
Right.
Martin is the heart of Pulaski, dude. If you went from Martin, Pulaski would be the most boring shit. But
That's true.
Martin
I'm interested to hear what you have to say, Austin, because you kind of, at least through high school, kind of went through a very different experience than, like, all of us did, because we were just, like, band kids. So, like, we had our group, but you were the cool kid in school.
You're the Call of Duty boy.
We were still, like, very close and, like, game together and stuff, but, like, you know, you did all the things that we did not do through high school, and, like, partied and, like, had a big group and stuff.
I did not. First of all, I didn't party in high school.
Really?
At all. I didn't even, like, really drink my first beer till college. I didn't listen.
Well, okay, hold on. You just said I didn't really drink my first beer till college.
I mean, I had like a couple. Like, okay, I'll tell you one thing.
Some bullshit.
Just sneaking into Dad's
really
liquor cabinet, that type of thing.
basically.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But
Dad.
when I was in high school, it was like I was like a nerdy ass kid. I got picked on a lot through like middle school especially.
Yeah.
But when I got into high school, I don't know really what happened, but I started just like figuring out people, and I figured out how to like talk to different groups of people, and I quickly in like my sophomore junior year figured out how to become friends with everyone. I figured out how to like, you know, talk to everybody and talk about the things that they like to, and kind of like get into those things.
Yeah.
But the main thing about small town living, I'll tell you, what you guys were talking about how your last name matters, is very like feudal. Like,
Yeah.
If you think about like medieval ages, it's like, you know, your last name is everything. You better have a son because he'll carry on your last name.
Yeah.
I'm the town barber.
I think that's funny you say that though, because like that was, you know, that was my, because I grew up in rural North Georgia, and like we had this. There were a few families that kind of like. It was weird because sports were such a huge thing, and it was high school football. Yeah, that was the thing that and, so it was this. There was this family. And it was they were the blacks. And
sorry, that's not okay.
I'm sorry. But that was the guy that like it was weird because in the same because like I didn't really have any friends in high school because I just floated around between groups, and it was funny because in middle school I got picked on all the time. They used to call me. Can't believe I'm about to say this, but because I'm afraid that you're going to start calling me this. But whatever, it's for the podcast. They used to call me ballerina in middle school because I tried out for the basketball team. I never played before, and I was just like, I really want to try this. So I got on the team. There was one time they did a joint practice together with the guys and girls. Don't know why. I fucking hate my coach for it because it ruined me in high school. But like. It was this like kind of suicide thing where like you run down to one side, you grab the ball, and you got to run back before the other person gets there and make it before they do. Yeah. And so I was like, oh god, I got to do it, and I ran and I like threw the ball, but like my leg came behind me and it looked like a pirouette. And everyone was like, oh, you fucking ballerina, all this shit.
How graceful you are.
Yeah. I think so, but it was funny though because like it took until high school I was like. They made fun of me all the rest of middle school because this was in 7th grade. Yeah. And in 8th grade, they still gave me shit. 9th grade, 10th grade, but in 11th grade, I was like, I'm gonna like do the weight room because like that seems fun. And all those same people were still there because it was such a small school. Okay. And so they used to make fun of me because like I couldn't lift anything, but like I was very skinny. I was very skinny at that point. And then in 12th grade, I started like out repping everybody. Yeah. I think I might have told this.
Kind of jacked. Like,
yeah,
and you're still like very strong.
Yeah, but it was funny because it took until senior year, and I was outlifting these football guys, and they were like, "Hey Parker, what are you doing on Friday? You want to come hang out?" And I was like, "You fucking assholes! You made fun of me for so long. No, I won't be there."
Parker, we need to go live, bro.
No, God, I don't do it anymore.
I kind of have a little bit of a story pertaining to like sports being the dominant factor in your county. So
that was us.
Whenever, absolutely,
Rice is fucking huge, and all the football coaches came after him.
So the thing is I'm 6'4". I'm a big guy. I could easily had I chosen that path, I probably could have made it to college, if not NFL, if I was really good. The thing is whenever I was in 8th grade, I was in band and I was also playing football. No. But it came down to recruiting, and the band recruited me really hard. But the football team had, I don't know if you've heard the name, but Bois, who was a quarterback for Ole Miss.
To him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who was a quarterback for Ole Miss. It was his senior year, and they were about to win a championship, which my freshman year of high school
they did.
And they didn't care about me at the time. Yeah. Because they had a winning team. But then after he left, they realized that they didn't have strong players, or as many strong players. Yeah. I don't want to overstep. And the rest of high school, they tried to recruit me. So sports definitely played a factor. Also, Giles County ended up building a $1 million, if not multi-million-dollar stadium.
The roof's leaking in the
rest,
high school.
The rest of the county's struggling. The high school has asbestos kind of left over. Yeah. They built a $1 million stadium for the football team.
It's funny. It's funny to me though because it's in high school I was like, oh fuck the football team. Why did they get all this new stuff? Because they built a brand new stadium for us as well. And then I was like, wait, this is such a small county. This is the only thing that people have to do in the fall. It's every Friday night they'll come and they'll pay $7.
I mean, our whole town came.
Oh man, we had 7,000 people strong every week that would pay to get in, and I'm like, okay, I get it. At this point though, I get it, and it's just funny to me because it's interesting that kind of the same stories are.
Well, that's the crazy thing is because that was so much of my life for so long. It's I got to college and was I need to get invested in a high school so that I can go back to and watch some high school football games because that was what we did, Yeah. Especially for me, Bryce, and Garrett, we never had a Friday night free in the fall because we were at every football game because we had to play. But like still, like we